Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still holding support. So all we had was a pullback into the support region today. Consolidation just below a trend line. I'm observing this trend line. It only has 2 touch points, but maybe we get a third one, then it could be the next proper breakout trend line, because with only 2 touch points, I don't trust it, but I am tracking this one here. We're only focusing here on the short-term chart, just an intraday update, because first of all, not much happened, but also looking at the bigger picture, I covered the daily chart earlier today. So what is going on here at the moment? So Bitcoin, we're obviously tracking two main scenarios, but I would like to raise some caution at least. We haven't broken support. My support areas, trend reversal areas, you could say, are still holding, or let's say the support zone. But we had quite a, I don't want to say sharp pullback, but it is a little bit extended. And if the low is in now, it's okay. And I put it into the last signal for our gold members that ideally we now see a rally to 66,852. That would, in a direct fashion, complete the third wave to the upside. At the same time, we have seen quite an extended correction, especially compared to the wave 2 that we've seen here internally, okay? So let's talk about the two scenarios. Short-term bullish. Short-term bullish scenario is exactly that white count, which I'm still tracking as primary scenario, as preferred scenario, which is here. Wave 1 to the upside, wave 2 to the downside, and then a third wave to the upside to 66,850, then a fourth wave down and a fifth wave up. This would still be the ideal pathway as long as we are holding 59,418, which I called in the previous video the ideal level to hold, or let's say the last reliable level really. Below that, 58,456, is still valid as support in a third wave, but then I would have to change the microstructure. The problem I would struggle with then is that changing the microstructure here would probably move it, or change it to a diagonal pattern, in which case we have to give it more space anyway. So again, 59,418 is still the key support that I also mentioned in the last update. And also again, quick reminder, a break above, no, not a break above, but going, let's see, as long as we're holding support, the ideal scenario is a direct rally to 66,852, because that's the first ideal target for a viable third wave. That's pretty much it. So then the next bearish option would be, what happens if we break below 59,418, especially if we see a break below 58,456? Well, it would be a signal that this is not impulsive to the upside, and that we might see it morph to some kind of a diagonal pattern, or even something more bearish. Yeah, so if it's turning into a diagonal, we can leave the initial 1-2 setup where it is, and then I would put an invalidation line for a diagonal pattern here. That's this one. That is at 55,700. So in a diagonal, technically this could be an A wave and a B wave pullback, and then a C wave rally, and the third wave would be an ABC structure, okay? In this case, this is the invalidation point. So that's pretty much it. So that gives you a very clear invalidation point. That would be the next more bearish, but still bullish scenario. And I would only really focus on it once we start to break below 59,418. And in a bearish scenario, we topped in 3 waves in a B wave corrective rally, after an A wave bottomed on Monday, B wave rally. The thing is, it turned pretty much where a B wave would finish. So just be aware of that. And then from here, we could move down in wave C to maybe 43K. So that means there are some very clear parameters to watch. At the moment, I'm primarily watching still for higher prices, but I would like to raise awareness that this ideally, I mean, it's moved down quite a lot for a fourth wave, but support levels are still holding. It's just that it looks a little bit like we might not hold support, but it's still holding. So it reacted just above that 59,418 level. So let's see. The levels are clear. Nobody's got a crystal ball. But if we see further downside like we've seen today, then at least it would morph into a diagonal pattern. So I'm not bearish, I'm still bullish, as long as we hold support, but I'd like to raise awareness that this move down, which is getting quite extended, is a bit untypical for an internal fourth wave within a larger third wave. But we'll see. That's sort of what I'm tracking right now. In terms of possible breakouts to the upside, breakout trade ideas, I mean, again, it's this trend line, but I would prefer it to have 3 touch points instead of 2. So maybe it's going to give us here an attempted rally, another pullback, and then a breakout. That would be a nice signal, because with only 2 touch points, I would not really trust this trend line. At the same time, be aware, now we see a green candle, yes, but it might just retest this trend line from below. Okay, so again, there is no, we're holding support for now. I don't have any clear signal that we're already breaking to the upside. It's just a question whether you are a pullback or a breakout trader if you're trading this. Well, if you're not a trader at all, then you might not even need to worry about these micro patterns, okay? But bear in mind that if we break below the Monday low, then it could send us down to 43K. At least in that case, the 43K level, which is the lower end of the support box here, will be the next support. I'm not predicting we go down to 43K, it's just that what we then have to consider and have to prepare for. Yeah, that's at the moment my view about Bitcoin. So really not much changed today, just maybe a few more parameters to watch with this trend line here, and a word of caution about a possible diagonal. I'm just saying about the diagonal because Ethereum is moving in a diagonal. That's definitely not impulsive. Bitcoin's movement can still be called impulsive, but again, it should avoid a break below 59,418. That's pretty much my view about Bitcoin. Make sure that you, well, if you're interested at least, that you check out our Twitter account. We've got the poll running. Tomorrow I will publish one video, not on YouTube, only on Twitter for one of these. So at the moment, Ondo seems to be winning. There are 20 hours left to vote. If you want one of the other ones, which I normally don't cover on YouTube, yeah, you can go ahead and vote. And but it seems like Ondo might be winning. So check it out, a link in the description for that. And yeah, hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.